Silence is often mistaken for weakness. But history has repeatedly shown that the quietest people in the room are often the ones with the greatest power. The people who speak the least frequently understand the most, because while everyone else is trying to be heard, they are busy observing what others fail to notice. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly noticed someone who barely said a word, yet somehow commanded everyone's attention? They didn't raise their voice. They didn't fight for recognition. They simply existed with a calm presence that made people curious. You couldn't explain why, but something about them felt different. In today's world, we're taught that power belongs to the loud. Social media rewards constant opinions. Conversations have become competitions. Everyone wants to be noticed, to prove themselves, to fill every second with noise. But what if that's exactly why genuine influence has become so rare? Ancient philosophers understood a truth that modern society has forgotten. Lao Tzu once said, "Silence is a source of great strength." The strongest minds never felt the need to announce themselves. They understood that words lose value when used carelessly. By the end of this video, you'll discover why silence isn't emptiness. It's hidden intelligence. You'll understand the psychology behind quiet people, why they naturally attract respect, and how mastering silence can completely change the way the world responds to you. Because sometimes, the loudest statement you'll ever make is saying absolutely nothing. The silent observer. The moment you stop trying to impress everyone, you begin seeing who they really are. Silence doesn't blind you, it opens your eyes. Imagine you're sitting in a crowded cafe. Conversations overlap, phones buzz, laughter echoes through the room, and everyone seems eager to speak. Now imagine one person who isn't trying to dominate the conversation. They aren't interrupting. They aren't desperately searching for the perfect comeback. Instead, they're quietly watching. At first glance, they seem ordinary, but psychology reveals something remarkable. While everyone else is busy expressing themselves, this quiet person is collecting information. They notice the hesitation before someone answers. They see the nervous tapping of a finger, the forced smile that doesn't reach the eyes, the subtle glance exchanged between two strangers. They hear not only the words, but also the emotions hidden beneath them. This is the first power of silence. Observation. Most people think communication is about speaking. In reality, communication begins with listening. The loud mind is occupied with what it will say next. The quiet mind is free to understand. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung believed that understanding others begins with understanding yourself. But self-understanding is impossible if your own thoughts are constantly drowned out by endless noise. Every unnecessary word becomes another distraction. Every moment spent seeking attention is a moment stolen from awareness. Have you ever noticed how experienced detectives rarely speak during an interrogation? They ask a simple question, then they wait. The silence grows uncomfortable. Most people rush to fill that discomfort, revealing details they never intended to share. The silence itself becomes more persuasive than another question ever could. Human beings are deeply uncomfortable with silence. Our brains are wired to resolve uncertainty. When a conversation suddenly becomes quiet, many people begin talking simply to escape the tension. Without realizing it, they reveal their fears, insecurities, motivations, and desires. Quiet people understand this instinctively. They don't manipulate others with silence. They simply allow silence to exist long enough for truth to emerge. Think about the wisest person you've ever met. Chances are they weren't the loudest person in the room. They listened more than they spoke. And when they finally said something, everyone paid attention. That's because scarcity creates value. A diamond is precious because it's rare. Gold is valuable because it's limited. In the same way, words gain weight when they are spoken carefully instead of endlessly. Modern life teaches the opposite. Every notification demands an opinion. Every social media platform encourages immediate reactions. People have become so addicted to expressing themselves that they've forgotten the extraordinary power of simply paying attention. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Most of what we say and do is unnecessary." If we removed the unnecessary, he believed, we would have more peace and more strength. Silence gives you something loud people can never have: perspective. When you're constantly speaking, you're projecting yourself outward. But when you're quietly observing, you're absorbing the world as it truly is. And here's the beautiful irony. The quiet observer often understands the loudspeaker better than the loudspeaker understands themselves. Because while one person is performing, the other is learning. And in life, the one who learns usually becomes the one who leads.